The greatest wealth transfer in human history is looming. Over the next 2 decades, baby boomers, as much as everyone loves them and is sad to hear this, they're gonna pass away and pass down an estimated $84 trillion, a trillion in
Trillion.
wealth to younger generations. Yeah, trillion with a T. But here's what most people aren't talking about. Most of these boomers aren't just passing down their wealth. They're actively relocating it across borders, seeking the best places to spend their golden years. Welcome back to Real Estate Without Borders, where we cover property markets around the world for real estate investors around the world. Today, we're diving into something that affects everyone, whether you're planning your own retirement or helping your parents plan theirs, or wondering how this massive transfer of wealth might flow in the next coming years. We're going to look at the top 25 countries for retirement in 2024. And trust me, some of these might surprise you. Actually, all of them pretty much surprised me. So before we jump into the rankings, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated on the biggest trends shaping our financial future as it relates to real estate. So Dave, kick me off here with why this is so important.
I think we should talk about how fire that intro was. That was incredible. 10 out of 10. Well thought out. Well executed too. And you're on the move and you executed an intro like that. So 10 out of 10 for you on that one. All right, let's talk about why this is so important. So let's break this down. So baby boomers currently control about 70% of all disposable income in the United States. That's trillion with a T.
That's so depressing for every other generation.
That's crazy. Insane. And as they enter their retirement age, we're seeing like a massive shift in how and where this wealth is being deployed. So whether it's seeking better healthcare systems, which we touch on this, tax advantages, or just a higher quality of life, retirees are increasingly looking beyond their home countries. And today we're going to show you exactly where the smart money might be heading. So let's dive into these rankings, which come from Natixis Comprehensive Global. I think I nailed that one, man. Global Retirement Index. They've analyzed all 44 countries across 4 crucial categories that could make or break your retirement experience. Only the lonely.
Isn't that funny? What a savage title. The title is Only the Lonely. Individuals increasingly feel like they're on their own for retirement security. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing that. I guess on Spotify there's video too, but yeah, it's
I like that. Catchy. It got me.
Yeah, for sure. So boomers currently own, like this show's about real estate, so we're not going to go too much into the stocks of it and stuff like that, but boomers currently own about 44% of all real estate wealth in America. So that's why it's relevant, right? This accounts for, again, with the trillion, $17.7 trillion in real estate assets. And as this generation looks to downsize or pull capital out of those assets or relocate for retirement, we're likely to see significant movement in both domestic and international real estate markets as a result. Now, I found this article kind of really further thinking about that real estate wealth from Yahoo Finance. Can you just read the heading of that one for me, Dave, and a couple of key takeaways from it? And I'll pull it up for the video.
Cool. I gotcha. So baby boomers sit on a mountain of real estate wealth. Is it safe to count it toward retirement savings? So, baby boomers own the largest portion of housing value nationwide. Data from the Federal Reserve shows that total real estate wealth in the fourth quarter of 2023 was $44.84 trillion, with boomers claiming $6.5 trillion, so 42% of the share. At the same time, homeowners' equity totaled $31.86 trillion. So with housing being so important, should this value be considered part of your retirement savings? Crazy.
So the article talks basically about a couple of different like home equity considerations. The ongoing costs, right? Property taxes, insurance, and maintenance affects retirement savings. So we're seeing people move to lower cost areas to help access their equity while maintaining homeownership, with significant cost of living variations between cities around the US, but also outside of the US, which is kind of where we're going to get to this list here. A lot of people considering moving to the rental option, especially as the US is becoming more and more of a rental market. And a lot of people are using their home equity as a financial tool on its own. which is kind of fascinating as well. So
Interesting.
this is probably, I felt for a long time that this was like the most important thing taking place in real estate in the world right now, is what the baby boomers are going to do. And it's not to say that like that's some profound statement. It's just that like they have all of the wealth, and so
Right.
they can pretty much decide the outcome of the market. Right.
I saw a post on Twitter that I'm trying to find right now, and it was like the ways to own real estate for our generation. And it was like make over X amount, have rich parents.
Yeah, pretty much.
Crazy.
I don't think there's another
Crazy.
way to do it. You're right.
Insane.
Maybe if you bought really, really early. Okay, so let's get into this report here. Should we read the top countries first? Do you want to just scroll to the top of the article and give me the list? Okay, so Dave, give me the list here of the top countries that it says what are the best countries for retirement, and this is a visual capitalist. Basically, they made an infographic from this report by Natixis.
It's basing it off of health, quality of life, material well-being, and finances in retirement. I had never in a million years thought I'd see this one number one. I wasn't thinking Norway would take top spot on this,
especially because 25. Of I feel like weather is like a big thing. Like if you're like a retiring boomer, you want like the nice weather.
Well, before I get ahead of myself, do you want me to list them off here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So starting number 1, Norway, followed by Switzerland, Iceland, Ireland, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Australia. Why does Australia have Australia scores so well in retirement finances due to its superannuation pension fund
pension fund system. Yeah.
Jeez. What does that mean, man?
It's I have no idea, but it's currently it's currently 3.5 trillion, the 5th largest in the world.
It's
for
highlighted
funds of that type.
If you're watching this, it's highlighted. That's why I called them out there. I had no idea. So Australia, New Zealand, Germany, Denmark, Austria, Canada, Finland, Sweden, Slovenia, the UK, Israel, Czech Republic, Belgium, US, South Korea, Malta, France, Japan, and Estonia.
I feel like there's like maybe 5 of these are affordable. I guess boomers don't give a shit because they're all
they made all their money, man.
Super asset rich. Look at these
guys. Got trillions.
Just being rich right here.
They're in the trillions.
They said I'm going to bought a house for $50 back in the 70s.
I've got so many things that I want to share on here with the Twitter. Me and Foch only talk in Twitter. We don't really text so much.
Just share tweets and then like somebody will just like it. That's it. Yeah, I agree.
Interesting. I gotta find out some more here, but
send me a couple. And so and I guess we'll just look at like, okay, so I have no idea, by the way, like what could you buy? There's only a handful of cities that I'm super familiar with here. I think healthcare is obviously going to be a big one based on what I'm seeing from most of these, but like Switzerland, I'm quite familiar with their property market because I'm a Swiss citizen. But
are you?
Yeah. But Norway, like what can you buy a house for in Norway, right?
Well, I'm looking at like why Norway is number one because I needed some hard facts, and I went to obviously the most reliable source I could, which is, if you didn't know, Grok 3 is now out and available. So if you have X, Twitter, whatever, you have access to Grok 3, which I think Elon said is the best AI for getting there. It's pretty great. So Norway is widely regarded as an excellent place to retire due to a combination of economic, social, environmental, and healthcare factors. Here are some of the top highlights as to why. Top ranked retirement security, Norway constantly ranks at the top of the Natixis Global Retirement Index, earning a score of 81% in 2022, securing the number one spot in the future. This ranking is based on factors like healthcare, quality of life, material well-being, and retirement finances, reflecting its strong support for retirees. What's like the average age in Norway? Now I gotta Google this too, man.
So many questions.
Okay. Hold on. Calculating. What's this? What are you showing? What is this chart?
This is the report.
So it's up?
So this is the health index. So if you go look at the health index, So this is a sub-index here. Norway's fourth on the health index. So you got Luxembourg, Sweden, Switzerland, Norway, Ireland,
I'm
top
assuming they
five.
have free healthcare. Let's see. Robust healthcare system. Norway spends approximately 8.1% of its GDP on healthcare, one of the highest rates worldwide. Its universal healthcare system provides retirees with access to top quality medical services, often free or low cost, once an annual cap around 250 USD is met. Wow. Offering peace of mind for aging individuals. And just in case you're wondering, the average age of the population of Norway is approximately 41.3 years. A gradual rise from 2014 from 39.
There you go.
Well, there you go. I wonder what the restaurants must shut down pretty early there then. Maybe you should go there, dude. It sounds kind of up our alley.
I'm into it. I like being in bed by like 9 p.m.
I'm a big 9 p.m. guy. Everyone's quiet.
Norway didn't even rank on the finances in retirement sub-index. Ireland actually is number one in the finances in retirement sub-index.
Interesting.
Yeah. Jumped up 5 places to take the top spot in the finances. That's based on old age dependency, bank non-performing loans, inflation, interest rates, tax pressure, government indebtedness, and governance.
Huh.
And it says Ireland's top ranking can be attributed to a significant jump in the government indebtedness sector, along with strong performances in the tax pressure, 6th, governance, 12th, and old age dependency, 13th indicators. Switzerland is knocked off the top after its interest rate score continues to decline, though its consistent scoring across the board helps the country keep second position.
Yeah, I thought Switzerland was the place to be financially.
Well, this is the funny part, right? Like, speaking as someone who knows a lot about Switzerland and spent a lot of time there.
Tell me, because I know nothing about Switzerland.
Yeah, so it's just super unaffordable, right? Like, it would be great for boomers who have a lot of money, but it's like, let's look at a house for sale. Like, let's just look at a normal house for sale in Switzerland. I'll pull one up.
Pull it up, man.
I'm gonna. So property for sale in Switzerland on Realtor.com. So they have it says 50,000 Swiss francs up to,
which is what, 450 Swiss francs.
Yeah, CHF is their current currency.
Oh, buddy, I
CH
typed in
stands for
Swiss, like Swiss chalet, Swiss francs,
well, it
like
is,
francs red hot.
But CH is Confederation Helvetica. That's why you see CH everywhere.
So let's see. That'd be about 517,000 US dollars.
Yeah, there you go. So for like a 400,000 Swiss franc, so this is in Bern.
Is that a good spot? You a big Bern fan?
I mean, look, there aren't really bad spots in Switzerland, to be honest with you. It's like it's the most first world place on earth, frankly. But like, I mean, this might be like the only one. Yeah, it's like pretty rough. It's like super urban, rough. But it is like a freehold property, I think.
They got like this might be a dumb question. They got any like nice condos there?
Yeah. This house was built in 1785. There you go. Talk about a century home.
You got laneway house permits back there or no?
Probably. Why not? I don't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, so 400K Swiss francs. I don't know why it's converting it to Australian dollars, but it is.
It's confused at your IPN, my guy.
Yeah.
It says, where is Dan? All right. So Norway, we got a few facts on. Switzerland, Ireland, Iceland. Can you do this? Pull up some stuff on Iceland here, because
sure.
I know zero about Iceland, even geographically. I'm currently Google Mapsing it. I picture a home in Iceland, like in the middle of the green with just waterfalls everywhere for like maybe like 75K. And you just got a bunch of sheep.
Go, buddy. Look at this thing. I think that's pretty much exactly this. Dude, is this listing exactly what you're looking at?
I swear to God,
look at that.
I'll share my screen right now. Okay. I didn't
Farm
know.
in Iceland, 72 million ISK. So we
and 44 sheep conversion for free. What is it? Sorry, say it again.
72 million ISK to USD is 523,000 USD. So pretty good comp actually to that one that we were just looking at.
Okay.
Look at this thing. Good. Well, I mean, like value wise to the one that we were just looking at, 500K USD, right?
That's right.
That's cool. Sick place to retire. If you like,
I was just thinking
farming.
Imagine just living downtown Toronto, downtown New York, downtown LA for
soccer pitch here, dude.
There's a soccer. Come on,
buddy.
I'm in.
Are we
Iceland,
retiring here
why?
together?
I was gonna say, how do we open up something in Iceland here? Why would people?
It
Why would
better
the
come with that
average
quad
American?
too.
Why would
It's
the
in the
average
photo.
American retire in Iceland? Okay, I'm pulling up some facts on why the
It's my
average
favorite
American
segment of the episode. Dave asks
Dude.
Grok questions. Why would an American retire in Iceland?
Let me tell you, exceptional quality of life ranks. Obviously, we knew that already.
Mm-hmm.
Stunning natural beauty. Obviously knew that. Safety and stability. Iceland is one of the safest countries in the world with low crime rates because no one can reach you. And political stability. Universal healthcare, obviously. So I'm guessing like these top ranked all have in common kind of the same stuff. Obviously, strong
Yeah,
pension,
just like
welfare system.
super duper first world places. I think that's kind of the point.
English proficiency, rich culture, community. Cool. Huh.
This is like super Scandi. Yeah, no, go ahead.
That's a cool house. Challenges do exist. The cost of living is high, 31.97% more than US per Numbeo data, though rent is 19.10% lower due to reliance on imports and high taxes. A retired couple needs at least $23.76 monthly to prove financial independence for residency. They also have harsh winters with limited daylight. That sounds like a nightmare.
Big daylight guy.
I'm a big light guy.
Huge.
I only
huge
operate well.
guy.
I only do good in the daytime. Not a big nighttime guy.
Pretty fair.
Okay, hold on. Americans need harsh winters, limited daylight might deter some immigration and restrictive Americans. Americans need a residence permit via family ties or financial independence and 4 years of continuous living for permanent residency. Interesting. Crazy. Okay. Just learned a whole bunch. I hope you guys did too, because I didn't know a single thing about Iceland until this very second. I honestly had it in my head pretty accurate, though. I wasn't far off. Next, Luxembourg.
Yeah,
Luxembourg. I don't know. Luxembourg. You got to know some stuff about Luxembourg, I'm assuming.
No, I don't. It's in Europe.
We're about to learn.
It's super, super old.
Super old.
I think it's a monarchy, believe.
A monarchy. Hold on. Is Luxembourg a monarchy?
But their website says, discover Luxembourg, a small multicultural company in the heart of Europe that is open to the world. You can travel to the capital city.
Huh. It's Luxembourg is a grand, I'm going to say this wrong, but I'm going to say it anyways. Official status. Luxembourg is a grand duchy. Duchy? I swear to God. Luxembourg.
I saw that too.
Okay. I don't know what that means. It's actually the only one in the world.
Can't be douchey.
It's got to be douchey.
Toronto is the grandest douchey. Toronto or Miami has
that. That's good stuff. It's actually the only one in the world today governed by a Grand Duke or a Grand Duchess. The current monarch is Grand Duke Henry. Wow, that's wild.
Looks super first world, though. I'll tell you that much
for free. That's crazy.
Look at that. That's sick.
Wow. Let's pull up a house. Average house in Luxembourg. It's very important stuff. We can't go through in depth with all these ones like this, but I'm just super curious. Okay. Advertised price for a house is 1.3 million euros. Can't be right.
Yeah, it makes sense, dude.
Wow.
Like I'm looking at some right now. Here, 786 pounds.
Average is like six.
They gotta take the Remax logo
6,620
off this house.
Crazy. Prices have been falling, obviously. Same globally.
This one's pretty G.
Let's see this.
Nice and yellow.
How much is this?
Urban, eh? That's about 800 pounds.
Is that off the back of a cliff?
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty steep off the back there, eh?
Yeah,
Talk about a walkout basement.
No pool.
Fallout basement.
Fallout basement.
Open the gallery.
Yeah. Wow. And this is how much?
It's 823,000
GDP
pounds.
830.
What's that to USD? I think it's close to 1-to-1 million USD.
Wow.
For some.
Interesting.
We haven't found one that's like I would call affordable for an affordable
but that makes
market.
Sense.
Again,
that honestly makes sense for what we're talking about.
Well, yeah, it's like, oh yeah, like all of these places are amazing to live. It's like, who's surprised? They are freaking insanely expensive to do so.
Exactly. Then you got Australia, which I've actually never been to Australia. I'd love to check it out, but anyways.
Yeah, I've been. It's pretty cool. It's like Canada, but with way better weather, and all of the animals are trying to kill you.
Yeah, see, I don't do well with snakes and bugs and stuff like that. It's not really my jam. That's why I got 3 cats. People think, I mean, you don't strike me as a cat guy, actually.
Not a cat guy, no.
I think if you gave it time, you'd like it. Honest.
They're okay, but
They
we got
grow
two
on you.
dogs, and my one dog like thinks he's a cat. Like he
Fair.
is like a lap dog, and he hunts like creatures outside all the time.
Yeah. That's like, I mean, I live in the middle of the jungle in Mexico, and my one cat got like a messed up.
You just got like
Yeah, he's got a lip that's all
cat
messed up because he keeps eating
security team.
scorpions. No, straight up. No, there's not a single. They eat geckos every day. Like I'll catch them with geckos in their mouth all day. It's crazy, man. But they don't come in. Okay, then you got Australia, New Zealand, which I think are like the same thing. Am I wrong?
Yeah, both expensive.
Both expensive. They're both highlighted yellow, which is because it has that thing. But
No, it's because they're in Oceania. That's just they're color coded by which continent they're on.
Obviously, Oceania. I didn't even know that was a thing, man. All right.
Yeah, that's like Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, maybe Indonesia. I think Indonesia's in Asia.
See, I learned something new. Then you got Germany. Isn't Germany going through some not so great times
Their
right now?
economy's getting smoked for sure. Urban areas in Germany are pretty expensive. So like you've got, like your Frankfurt, like when we did the bubble index, we talked about this. Munich, Frankfurt, like they're bubbly cities. But if you go to like the rural areas, the same as Canada, I would say, right? Or the US,
Right.
like as long as you don't want to live in a super urban area, you
Right.
can usually find something for a pretty decent price. So,
Interesting. Denmark, Austria, Canada. Canada's on there. Finland, Sweden. I've actually spent some time in Finland and Sweden. Both amazing. Good people. Super beautiful places.
just
to
cold,
live.
right? Like that's the only thing
Cold.
that I find surprising about boomers wanting to go there is like I'm down in California right now, Palm Springs, and it's like boomer heaven, right? And they're just in here just soaking up the sun, getting away from the winter up north. Like all the plates are from like either northern US or Canada, right? Yeah.
I picture you in Palm Springs. Okay, this is what I picture. Okay, you got like a 1990 Corvette. Okay, 2-seater.
Buddy, how do you know I was a
Top
GM
down.
guy?
Just like
just blasting Skinnerd with my tank top on.
but you got the floral over top, tank top,
Yeah.
but floral over top, cargo shorts, just in case you need to carry around some stuff for the kids, right? I can just
for sure.
Snacks.
Playing the Eagles.
But,
actually,
love
go
to
see the
that.
Eagles tribute concert here soon. So,
are you actually?
Oh yeah, I love the Eagles, man.
I'm learning so much about you right now. Sorry, we got carried away there.
That's okay. Yeah, that's good. Got to get to know the hosts,
Dan's the red one this episode, which is my favorite thing because
just came here late and fell asleep beside the pool for 3 hours yesterday after I got just.
Guy's got his phone on Do Not Disturb.
Got my Dave tan on.
Oh, it's so good. It's my favorite. All right, back to the
lobster
episode.
Guys. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
We're tanning, I was actually at the beach right before this. I was, not to rub it in. I know it's cold.
This episode is brought to you by Red Lobster.
That's right. If we don't, are they still a thing?
I don't know. They're gonna change the name though to Dave and Dan's.
D&D's. Where are we here? I lost the episode. Okay, we're back. Finland, Sweden. I'm hungry too.
Slovenia. That sounds like that'd be more affordable. Slovenia. Is that former USSR?
Is it?
I think so. Flag looks.
I've heard. I want to. Okay, what's the house? Let's go. One more.
It was never part of the USSR. It was part of Yugoslavia, which was influenced by the Soviet Union.
See, this history stuff, man. What's the average house? Give me an average house.
Home ownership rate is 75%, so it's a little bit more capitalistic.
75% home ownership rate. Why would
be higher than the U.S.?
Slovenia. I'm pulling up some.
But you know what's interesting about Slovenia? It's the only place in the world that has longer building permits than Canada.
In the world.
Yeah. Actually, no, in the OECD. But everybody outside the OECD doesn't technically count because they don't have data to put into the OECD.
What's the OECD, man?
We went through this. Organization, Economic Cooperation to...
What?
Yeah, we did this, yeah. I remember I listened to it.
For those...
Dave learns, this is called Dave Learns the OECD again.
For those listeners that are at my education level and that didn't know that stuff, who's in the OECD?
So this isn't for an average priced house in the capital, so this is like, urban is 290,000 euros or 315,000 USD. So it's not that bad.
It says here, Slovenia.
There's a New York Times article on it, actually.
High quality of life. Here's the
in
reasons
Slovenia.
why people would want to retire in Slovenia. Significantly lower costs compared to the US, according to Numbeo. Consumer prices in the US are about 20% higher, and rent is roughly 117% higher. The capital, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center in Slovenia, costs around $718 monthly, while outside the city center is about $557 monthly. If you're comparing that to like New York, they're saying the range is around like $300 to $3,500 for an average condo rental in New York. Stunning natural beauty, high quality of life, very clean.
It looks like a lot of people started moving there during COVID, though. Seen quite a bit of increase in price growth over the last basically since the beginning of COVID. Like price growth was 3.36%, went up to 17% year over year price growth in 2022.
Interesting.
Then it dropped when interest rates started in 2023. Real house prices, I guess their inflation was pretty high. Real house prices dropped about 1%, but nominal prices basically have still been growing like 5, 6, 7%.
Interesting.
So
it's saying here, go ahead.
Yeah, in
say
Ljubljana, Slovenia's capital,
I skipped over that.
Price index for existing flats rose by 4.77% year over year, but fell slightly by 0.5% in real terms, which means that their inflation was more than how much they were growing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's an uncovered gem. Unlike overcrowded retirement hotspots, Slovenia remains relatively under the radar, offering a quieter, less touristy, less expensive experience. Travel and leisure has highlighted, the city capital as a rising retirement destination. Interesting. Well, they have ski resorts and everything, and spa, and the sea. I get it. Slovenia, I'm on board with so far. What's next? UK.
What's next is I subscribe to this website because it's sick data. We're going to use it so much.
This is actually a really good website. UK. The UK is not doing great either, right? They're on the same kind of path as Germany.
I think a lot of European economies just like weren't really innovative, and they're having a hard time competing against the US in like kind of the Western like knowledge economy, and they're having a hard time competing against like the East in the manufacturing and etc. Right? So yeah, UK, most of Europe, I think is having a pretty rough go right now. To tell you the truth.
Then you got Israel, Czech Republic, Belgium, US, South Korea.
Yeah, South Korea is an interesting one. Why don't you pull up houses there?
Obviously, I'm pulling up houses here, man. I got a million questions. South Korea. I'm going to first ask, why would Americans retire in South Korea? And then I'll ask it another question. What cost of living? South Korea offers a lower cost of living compared to the US, obviously, especially outside major cities like Seoul. According to Numbeo, consumer prices in the US are about 25 to 30% higher, and rent is roughly 50 to 70% higher. Busan and Daegu, a one-bedroom apartment in the city center, costs around $400 to $600 monthly compared to, okay, that's rent. But what's it going to cost? I want to see this here. Hold on. That's price. Pulling up some data here for you. Average house price. You got it? You got some listings?
I can probably pull, give me a sec. You can pull it up.
Purchase price across South Korea is approximately 390 million South Korean won, KRW, which is approximately
like they have the third highest house price by country in price per square meter.
I think they're basing that off like
that's in
the
Seoul,
city
though.
center. Yeah, Seoul.
Yeah, so that's Seoul. So
they're saying
only Singapore and Hong Kong are above them.
Interesting. So it gets like drastically cheaper outside Seoul. It's saying average is 281,000.
Yeah, Japan's like that as well. I mean, I think a lot of these Asian countries are really like going through these like pretty severe demographic shifts, right? Like Japan's already experiencing the effects of an aging society with the world's oldest population. Statistically,
interesting.
Over 29% of Japanese citizens are 65 or older, which is a lot of pressure on pension systems and healthcare infrastructure. So it's not like it would be maybe an exceptional place for people, for more boomers to go. Yeah. But as a result, there's so few young people, and so there's not a lot of young people to buy all of these houses off of boomers. This will happen in the US and Canada eventually. We're just earlier, right? We just have like
Right.
younger populations. Go to South Korea, they have the world's lowest fertility rate at 0.78 births per woman in 2022, which is far below the replacement rate of 2.1. And this is obviously a threat to the long-term economic stability of their real estate market sustainability. Though, if you're a boomer who's just looking for a high-quality place to retire, best bang for your buck, you might not care so much about the sustainability. That's probably your kid's problem.
That's right. I pulled up some stats on average hospital wait time in South Korea, just for funsies. It's actually saying that
That's it's a good stat.
Right? It's very efficient. So emergency wait times. South Korea's emergency departments are known for its efficiency compared to many Western cultures, but exact wait times vary, obviously. They're saying it's about 30 minutes to an hour for non-critical cases, even in busy urban hospitals. 2024 study on travel time to emergency care doesn't provide wait time directly, but notes that hospital bed availability improved since COVID-19, reducing delays for admission. Let's see. Average wait time is about 1 to 2 hours, even in major like Seoul. See?
So not an amazing. I mean, that kind of sounds kind of like Canada. I think like the one thing with when it comes to healthcare is like a lot of the private healthcare countries are seeming to look a bit better, especially for, again, this is assuming a wealthier class of people who, can afford it. Like if you can afford to go and choose a country based on where you want to retire, you probably healthcare you can afford to pay for, right? I would assume. Right.
Malta, what do you got? You got a chart pulled up there. I know you want to talk about it.
No, I don't. I'm good. No? Malta, I think is pretty nice though from a
weather.
Like from a weather perspective, is it not?
You know what? Googling Malta.
It's an island. It's like I think it's just it's like south of Italy.
Slow paced living. I think I can associate with that right now.
Big
affordability. Let's see. Malta's affordable living. Malta's cost of living is lower than many U.S. cities. Obviously, a one-bedroom apartment around $900 to $1,100 US. Outside,
that'd be like living in like one of the Caribbean islands, though, right? Like it'd probably be gotta not need to do much, you know. Gotta be willing to not do much. I don't know if that's
Mediterranean
not
climate
the life for me, buddy.
Yeah, they got golf courses out there, but it says over 300 sunny days annually.
There you go. It's like California too.
Palm Springs, Foch and the Corvette, the Eagles.
That's me, buddy. Eagles.
English, did you know this? English-speaking base. As a former British colony, English is the official language alongside Maltese. Did you know that?
No, it makes sense though. Now you've mentioned that it was a British colony.
They also have a lot of like retirement visa options, just in case you're wondering. You're welcome. We gotta come up with, I mean, France, I kind of get it. Japan, I kind of get it. But Estonia, I'm curious. Because I feel like there's a lot of places here that I wouldn't have expected, but Estonia, I don't know a single thing about Estonia. What language do they speak?
Like, it's interesting. I'm looking at these countries, some of these countries. So like, if you go to globalpropertyguide.com, they have these like rental yields by country. It's pretty sick. This is a sick chart. I'm going to show you. Well, it's not a chart, it's just a table, but I'm going to make this into a chart. And if you go to the top of the list and start looking at, like, I sorted this backwards by gross rental yield. So basically, again, your rental income divided by your property values. And look who's all at the top here. Israel, Switzerland, Czech Republic, Hong Kong. I guess Hong Kong wasn't on the list, but there's Malta right there, 4.08%. We've got Denmark at 4.18%, New Zealand, Japan, this whole list, right? So again, these countries where your house prices are high, a lot of people want to buy the real estate. They don't perform well as investments.
Right. Interesting. That's kind of cool. I want to cover one quick thing. Did you know in Estonia, the official primary language spoken is Estonian, and Estonian is a Finnic language, part of the Uralic language family, closely related to Finnish and distantly to Hungarian.
I had no idea, but now I know.
They also speak Russian and English.
There you go.
So you gotta learn Estonian if you're going to Estonia.
That's a pretty big headwind though, right? Like especially for US folks that want to move like and don't really know any other languages. Like most of my like anyone I know from Europe, like they all speak like 3 or 4 languages, and for them to learn like a new language as long as it was marginally related, like you just mentioned, to the
Right.
place they came from, it wouldn't be that hard. But like I don't know, man, everyone, especially North America, everyone's just like, no.
Yeah,
Let
we
me
know
yell
English
into
and that's
Google
it.
Translate here, okay?
Yeah, it's true. Cool.
Yeah, let's wrap it up there.
Yeah.
That was good. I think it, like, to me, the key important part of this is, I mean, look, like my major takeaway is a bunch of countries that nobody can afford as it stands are attractive to old people who have a bunch of money, right? Not necessarily surprising, but interesting to look at the whole list, and probably not something most people think about.
Right.
Going a little bit further, is it reasonable to expect that we'll start to see a lot of that boomer capital move into those countries as they start to look for new places to retire? Yeah, probably. And so could those markets benefit? And could that be maybe something that could push them to be more sustainable in long-term growth? Yeah, I think it would be reasonable to expect that. So that's my 2 cents on today's app. What do you got?
Dude, I learned a lot, man. I went into this blind, just looking at a chart of the top 25 countries or places to live, sorry. And I honestly learned way more than I expected. I had Google Maps up this whole time. So I'm basically
Just
an expert.
just getting a geography lesson.
There was a lot spinning around up here in this noodle, but I think we covered some really cool things. I think it's we're just here to provide value. We're value givers here on this podcast. And that's what we did today.
We
That's what we
did for
did
sure.
today. Cool.